Welcome to the CILT Awards for Excellence 2020. Here's your host, Matt Daniel Baker.
Good evening and welcome to the CILT Awards for Excellence 2020. I'm Matt Daniel Baker and I'm going to be your host for this evening. And as well as being your host, I'm actually a professional mind reader and mentalist. And we've got a very special Zoom audience lined up where I'm going to be performing some mind reading miracles a little bit later. But for now, I'd just like to say that it's an absolute honour to celebrate alongside you this year's worthy winners. 2020 will be remembered as the year that our sector stood up and finally got the recognition that they deserve for keeping the UK moving. Without logistics and transport supply chain professionals, the entire country would not have been able to respond to the COVID-19 pandemic in the way that it did. Now in its 28th year, the Awards for Excellence allows us to celebrate and reflect on evidence-based achievements made within the profession over the last 12 months. Tonight, we recognise the excellence of individuals and organisations who have worked collaboratively to build on knowledge and create change. And as you can see, we're having to deliver this event in a very different way this year, but we hope that you've still got a glass in your hands ready to cheers and celebrate our very special award category finalists. This year, we received the highest number of entries we've received in the last 4 years. With an array of diverse entries and vigorous judging from our team of highly esteemed leading judging panels, our winners should feel incredibly proud to receive their award tonight. And don't forget, we are all in this together, and so we want to hear from you. We want to see how you are celebrating. So please post your photos on social media using the hashtag CILTAwards20 and interact with each other on the social wall. Now, to open the awards, please welcome CILT's new president, Steve Gooding.
Well, thanks for that, Matt, and a very warm welcome from me to this year's CILT Annual Awards event. We're here to celebrate excellence, and we're going to see and hear some great stories on this year's theme of Empower, Elevate and Evolve. Of course, normally we'd be having this event in the autumn. We've slipped it round to not quite spring. Normally we'd be meeting each other in person, but for reasons we all know, we can't. And normally, by now I'd be in my dinner suit. But that suit is hanging on the back of a door in an office that I haven't visited for about 5 months. So I hope you'll forgive my get-up as just one more way that we're having to do things differently right now. The CILT Awards for Excellence celebrate the brightest talent and the most innovative organisations, recognising those who continue to raise standards and move the professions forward. This year, we've got no fewer than 13 award categories covering every aspect of CILT members' work, and I know that you're keen to find out who's won, so I'm not going to keep you for long. For those of you who might not yet have read your copy of Focus from cover to cover, I should explain that I am Steve Gooding. I'm, in my day job, the director of the RAC Foundation, which is a small independent research body, a think tank if you will, that looks into motoring issues. But for several years now, I've also been a vice president of the Institute. Becoming president is a great honour, and it comes at a time when the professions we seek to foster and promote in CILT have never been more important for the country. Sadly, unlike past presidents, I can't promise to be getting around the country to meet you, the CILT members, but I am hoping at least to take part in some virtual meetings, to hear about the challenges you're facing, but of course also about how you're rising to them. Before I go any further, I'd like to give my thanks to Paul Sainthouse, who's been an excellent president in 2020 and a very hard act to follow. What the challenges of the last 12 months have revealed is the work of the otherwise hidden heroes who managed to keep our country moving. Hidden heroes who displayed all the qualities we wish to foster at the CILT. A commitment to excellence and a commitment to professionalism in all of the many activities involved in getting people and goods where they need to be. Indeed, I think of our mission at the CILT as being professionalism in motion. For me, the CILT is all about professionalism, both in gaining professional qualifications and ongoing professional development, but also in a willingness amongst members and fellows to share best practice, to share their experience. Never has that been more important. What about my priorities, our priorities, for the year ahead? Well, those three themes of empower, elevate and evolve apply as much to the Institute as to you, its members. We want to empower our members. We want to elevate their profile and celebrate their achievements, as we will today. And we need to evolve. That's why, as part of the move to professionalise the professions this year, we're launching the CILT's professional designation, both at certified and advanced practitioner status. The designation is about attaining the right professional standards, recognised through achieving professional qualifications, and then building on those standards through continuing professional development. Watch out for more information about this through CILT publications and our social media presence, and look out for your opportunity to participate in this new and exciting recognition programme. As for me, well, I'm looking forward to being an ambassador for the Institute, to being a sounding board for Kevin and the executive team, and to exploring the scope for the CILT to attract, serve and support a growing membership, to think about the fresh areas where we might be able to offer a service and grow our membership beyond today. And on that note, I'm going to hand the stage back to Matt. Do enjoy this event.
Thank you, Steve, for that empowering and thoughtful opening that highlights the importance of working together and the value of CILT members. Okay, so before our first award, I'd like to introduce you to my studio audience. I've got a very special Zoom show that I'm going to perform for these guys right here. They're all there. Give them a big wave. Say hello, everybody. Basically, I'm going to be using my Zoom audience to do some mind reading and mentalism effects throughout this evening. Okay, so let's take a look at our first award category. The first award of the evening is Health, Safety and Wellbeing, which recognises an organisation or project that has shown improvement in road safety or on-site operations, awareness of key topics that have led to tangible effects on the workforce, and collaborates to achieve improved standards with trade partners and the wider community.
This category is sponsored by ARCO. The finalists for this category are Blackpool Transport Services Limited, London Borough of Hackney and Transport for London, Xpo Logistics.
The winner for this category is Xpo Logistics. Congratulations to Xpo Logistics, who have made significant progress in changing the health, safety and wellbeing culture from compliance-based to behaviour-focused. Let's take a look at their story.
Our Road to Zero is really about that aspiration to have zero accidents, but to give safety meaning for everybody within the organisation, regardless of what their role is. So that means everybody looking after each other every day, coming to work and going home safely. Hello, my name's Lisa Mcgreevey and I'm the EHS Director for Xpo in the UK and Ireland. I joined Xpo approximately 3 years ago, and that the Road to Zero had commenced and was a very, very good programme. It's an excellent programme. However, we needed to take it to that next level, and we needed to say, where are we going to be in 3 years? Focus on safety is so important because people come to work to earn a living, and it's incumbent on us as employers to make sure they're safe to do that. When we interact with the public, it's also incumbent on us to protect members of the public. So it's a duty. It's a duty that we hold, but it's a duty that we hold to everybody and to each other. And that's important because the impact of safety on people's lives when it goes wrong is hugely significant. I think the challenge is about changing people's behaviours and about people understanding that they have a part to play. Sometimes within safety, people don't understand the part that they have to play. And that's when we get that message across, and people understand that, we have improved safety performance and people look after themselves and each other. To change safety at a site, it has to be about collaboration. It isn't about a safety person's role. Safety in XPO isn't about my role. I'm a facilitator in that sense. And at sites, that's what safety people are, whether it's a safety manager, a safety coordinator or a safety rep. Everybody has that impact and that potential. So it's really about collaboration, and that's one of the things that I think we do very well in the XPO. So we've seen some great improvements, not just within the lost time injury rate, which we saw a reduction of over 30% in 2019, but also within the engagement of colleagues and that continued engagement to be involved in initiatives and work through some of the strategy areas. 110 colleagues working on 7 strategy groups to deliver some of that safety performance. It's incredible.
Since we focused on the safety and behavioural aspects of our strategy and approach to safety in our business, we've seen a significant reduction in all accidents and all incidents across the business. My name is Mark Simmons. I'm the HR Director for the UK and Ireland in XPO. My role also has overall responsibility for the QHSE strategy within the business, supported by an excellent team led by Lisa. Our fundamental desire, though, is to continue to improve that further and ensure that we have the safest possible environment and industry leading within XPO. I'd like to take the opportunity to congratulate Lisa and thank her for all her leadership and support, inclusive of her safety team, and to all the operational leaders and managers in our business that have all played a big part in improving our safety performance. Well done to all.
The next category is the Award for Excellence in Environmental Improvement, proudly sponsored by Tritax Big Box, one of the UK's leading investment companies dedicated to investing in large-scale logistics warehouses known as big boxes. The Environmental Improvement Award recognises an organisation that has evidenced a leading approach to reducing the carbon footprint across their operations, including better use of resources and a reduction in energy and materials used.
This category is sponsored by Tritax Big Box, and the finalists are Nottingham City Transport, HMM Europe, Trailer.
Some great finalists for this category. And the winner is Nottingham City Transport. Let's take a look at their story.
Well, our objective has been to provide the cleanest and the greenest public transport that we can for the City of Nottingham. I'm Gary Mason. I'm the Engineering Director at Nottingham City Transport. Nottingham City Transport is the main city bus operator within Nottingham. So we are the high capacity, high frequency people mover. So we've got 310 buses, and of that fleet, over 230 of those are double deck. Nottingham City Transport's journey on emission standards started a long time ago, and since the early 2000s we've always tried to have the cleanest fleet possible with the latest emission standards. But as we got into 2012, we knew that Euro 6 emission standards was on the horizon, and that compared to the Euro 5 that it replaced, it was going to be a real step change in terms of reduced NOx, oxides of nitrogen, and reduced particulate matter coming out of the exhaust pipe. And to achieve that with a diesel engine was going to involve very complex exhaust after treatment systems. So that seemed to be the right time to just say, well, what else is there out there? What other technologies are available? Of course, electric was one of them. But we knew that gas was a technology that could meet Euro 6 perhaps a bit more easily without the complicated exhaust systems. So that prompted us to liaise with our big bus supplier, which was Scania, And indeed, at the end of 2012, we went with them over to Lords and Masters in Stockholm to convince them that it was worth investing in the development of a gas double-deck chassis, because we're a double-deck bus operator, that would suit our needs and give us the clean green bus that we wanted. The big challenge that we had for a double-deck bus was primarily range. We had to get 250 miles per day out of a single fueling, or if it was going to be an electric bus, out of a single charge. And that was the biggest problem. We were working then not only with Scania, but with Alexander Dennis in Falkirk, Scotland, who are the bodybuilders. And it meant a complete redesign of the fuel systems with two fuel tanks that held over 500 litres each, at a higher pressure. Instead of the standard 200 bar, we had to go up to 250 bar just to get enough mass of gas on the vehicle. And the only place to put that was at the back of the upper saloon, which from a weight disposition point of view is exactly where you don't want it. So we worked very, very closely with the bodybuilders and with Scania just to make sure that we could get the axle loadings with all the regulatory limits that we were faced with. At some stages, we had only 70 kilos contingency on a 12-ton bus to ensure that we stay within the required limits. But it worked okay. The bus passed its tilt test, first time of asking, been a super success in terms of the way it's been received by our customers and by our drivers. And us as a company, it's been a reliable and economical vehicle to operate. Because the key to the gas bus's green credentials, to it being carbon neutral, is the fact that we're using a renewable fuel. We're using biomethane as a fuel. Now, at the moment, we buy that from a remote facility producing biomethane, but this year, very soon, we're going to have within the city of Nottingham our own biomethane production capabilities. So we'll be running the bus fleet on a renewable fuel that's produced within the city from waste generated within the city. So it makes it the complete renewable package and green package with just as close to a carbon neutral footprint as you can possibly achieve.
A great example there of how as a profession we can become more environmentally friendly and dedicate time to understand the importance of how we as a profession have a wider impact. Take tonight, for example, which is usually delivered as a face-to-face event, but by delivering it digitally, we've reduced our carbon footprint, which sets a great example. So let me get back to my Zoom audience. Are you still with me, everybody? Perfect. Okay, while you're shaking your hands, and this is a little test for all of you, in fact, every single person watching can take part in this next thing because it's an observation test. Because magic and mentalism, mind reading, it all involves misdirection, suggestion, subliminal messages, all of that sort of stuff. So everyone, give your fingers a little wiggle. Hold your hands out in front of you, give your fingers a wiggle. Now point your thumbs down to the floor. So palms outwards. Good. All of you, I can see you, some of you not partaking there. That's it, get your hands up. And just put one hand over the top of the other one and clasp your fingers so your thumbs are still at the floor. Point your thumbs at the floor and then tilt your thumbs to the side. Don't hurt yourselves. And then back down to the floor. Chris, if you can get your hands just a little bit higher there. That's good. Now, after 3, everybody, 1, 2, 3, point your thumbs all the way up to the ceiling. That's it. Right there, just me. I'd be worried if you could do that. Like I said, magic and mind reading is all about misdirection, and you have all just been misdirected. Thank you. You can all relax now. Okay. So now let's move on to our next award category. So the next award category of the evening is Freight Transport, and the award for excellence in freight transport is given to an organisation that has made sustained improvements in transporting raw materials, subcomponents or finished goods by air, sea, road or rail modes.
This category is sponsored by Fours. And the finalists are Kuna and Nagel, Gist, Chet.
Congratulations to the winner, Kuhn and Nagel. Kuhn and Nagel demonstrated a range of best practice techniques to tailor each customer's supply chain to respond to the COVID pandemic and kept the customer partnership at the very heart of their efforts. Let's take a look at their story.
Last year really kind of kicked off when I had to go down to Kent to see my parents. This was a couple of weeks before the lockdown really kind of, was initiated. And it was interesting seeing kind of their fear about what was going to happen. Were they going to be ready for this? And, we spent a day and sat down and went through their cupboards and their freezers and realised that, like most septuagenarians, they had 8 weeks worth of food in their cupboards, and all we really needed to do was get a couple of bags of rice from Sainsbury's, and they could really see what was a potential hardship through to, what was expected to be that kind of time window for that lockdown one. And so that was nice, kind of making sure that I could provide that reassuring environment for my parents. But as I walked along the Kent coast, thinking about what was about to happen, I realised that actually our customers were going to experience this just on a much, much bigger scale. Most of them are never going to have gone through anything as complex as what we knew we were about to face into. So what we did was we got a small group of us together, business experts across the world, to look and lay out a plan in terms of how did we really unlock agile and responsive solutions for our customers. And we realised that from the time a purchase order is raised right the way through to it being delivered, we could probably bring 14 different solutions to that marketplace. A blend of accelerating and decelerating solutions, some done in the purchase order, some at origin, some on the water, some at destination. And what we did was we bundled this whole kind of community together of solutions and came out to our top 40 customers and said, this is what we think we can propose. We listened to them, we refined those solutions really, really quickly because we knew that the days were going to come when they had to make decisions, so that when we did need to start making decisions, we knew everything would work and it would engage with our customers really quickly. So we worked with those top 40 customers. We looked at those agile solutions. We helped them to decelerate their stocks because we knew that their warehouses were closed. We also helped the customers at the other side of the spectrum who were having a thriving time with COVID situation and needed to accelerate their supply chains. But what we also realised was that the plans that we built today were probably not going to be the plans that we needed for tomorrow. We all sat there every night, didn't we, watching the government briefings, listening to Chris Whitty telling us about the R number and what was going to change in the next 24 hours, and knew that that had impacts in terms of the decisions that we'd made that day at work and the decisions that we needed to make the following day when we came to work. We needed to be agile and responsive. And the great news for us is that as we've been through those lockdowns, we've needed to go through those responsive solutions, we've helped our customers. It's been fantastic. The challenge, as we know, is that with port issues and container issues and container prices and Brexit, we still need to keep this agility up. So the key for us at Kuhn & Nagel is not how did we support our customers during the pandemic, but how do we make sure that the things that we learned over that period become the DNA of the services and the solutions that we can offer our customers moving forward. We have to learn, we have to adapt, and we have to raise the bar when it comes to customer service. And that's why we felt it was appropriate to respond to the CILT Freight Transport Award. To be nominated for this award is a real privilege. It shows the hard work that everyone that we get the pleasure of working with has put in to supporting our customers over the course of the last couple of years. It's seminal for us. It's an important moment for us in our DNA.
This award is for excellence in warehouse operations. And this is awarded to an organisation that demonstrates the integration of safety, innovation and technology to deliver a customer-focused operation.
And the finalists are SEC Storage, Superdry with HIC Robot and Invar Systems. Kuna and Nagel.
Some really great finalists there, but of course there can only be one winner. And the award goes to Superdry with HIC Robot and Invar Systems. This really is a fantastic example of teams working together to develop innovative solutions to benefit all parties involved. So let's take a look at their story.
Hi, my name is Gordon Knox. I'm the Logistics and Business Transformation Director for Superdry.
My name's Tim Wright. I'm the Managing Director at Invar Systems. We're a provider of software for automated distribution systems, focusing on the supply of warehouse management systems and warehouse control system software.
I've been with the business 8 years, and in the logistics function, I look after all the movement of all products in all regions globally. And I also, in a business transformation perspective, look after all of the key business change programs throughout the business.
We formed Invar Systems about 15 years ago with the intention of being an independent supplier of the software solutions for automated systems. And when we were approached by Superdry, it was an ideal opportunity, we felt, for the application of robots. They were fairly new to the market at the time, and we felt that what they were looking for in terms of a modular, scalable solution could be easily delivered by the robot systems.
We did a full programme and went to the board with essentially a £25 million spend. And now this was for a goods-to-man storage and retrieval system solution. The board loved it, they loved the concept, but they were a little bit concerned on the price tag, especially as we were entering into Brexit. So we were asked to go away and see if we could modulise the solution.
Prior to the robots, the operators would take the items that were returned and place them back into the pick face. This is a lot of walking as they move the goods around. The robot solution replaces this. The robot presents the rack to the operator places the items onto the rack, and then the robot takes it away into the storage area, where the robot will bring the rack back to the operator, and the operator takes the items out and places in the tote bins to go off for dispatch.
In 2018, we introduced 6 robots to our distribution centre in the UK. The project was a phenomenal success, and we were able to go back to the board and secure further funding to increase the rollout of robotics throughout our network. One of the biggest challenges that we faced were in the latter stages of the programme. The delivery of the robots coincided with COVID, and we were challenged then with all of the restrictions on social distancing, etc. And that wasn't just from our perspective, but that was also from Invar's side. So we had to work incredibly closely to ensure that we could deliver the project on time.
As Gordon mentioned, we had similar challenges with COVID. Lockdown started just as we needed to be working on site. So we had issues with staff working away, social distancing and concerns of individuals over what was happening generally.
With any large-scale automation or robotics solution, there is an impact to the workforce, and we were acutely aware of that. So we engaged at all stages of the programme to ensure that they fully understood what we were trying to do and what we were trying to achieve, where the robots would be positioned, what roles they would be taking on. That engagement bore fruit all through the project, and the teams have been fully engaged and fully supportive.
In terms of the performance of the system, for the put-away process, where we're storing items returned by customers into the robots for future picking, we went from a rate of below 100 units per hour with the manual process to now seeing in excess of 350 units per hour. For the picking cycle, where we're taking items out for customer orders, we went from a process of 90 units per hour with a manual operation to sometimes seeing in excess of 300 units per hour.
So for us, this is just the beginning. We have got a huge programme of development with Invar as our partner, and we're planning on introducing more robots to our UK and European facilities, and we will be moving into the US. So huge progress will be made across the whole network, and we can't wait.
We're really pleased to be recognised by CILT for this award. It's been a great project. We've really enjoyed working with Superdry, and thanks to them and thanks to our internal team for working hard. It's been a great experience.
Just like to say thank you to CILT for recognising this project and to putting us forward. Obviously the icing on the cake would be to win it. None of this could be achieved without the partnership. So Invar, huge thanks for the software side of the project, Hikvision for the robots, and our warehouse providers, Blackman and Clipper. And I can't go without mentioning the Superdry team, or they would kill me. So a huge thank you to everybody.
Okay, well done again to everyone involved in that award category. Fantastic. So let me go back to my Zoom audience. I've got a pack of cards right here in this glass. And what I'm going to try and do is suggest a playing card to one member of my Zoom audience. I'm going to try and implant a card into one of your minds. And for this, I'm going to go down and look at the view and ask Stephanie. Stephanie, would you unmute yourself, please? Good evening.
Hello.
Oh, that's it. That's what I like. A bit of enthusiasm. Stephanie, thank you very much. Are you enjoying the award ceremony so far?
I am. It's very good.
Excellent. Say it like you mean it, Stephanie. Okay, Stephanie, I want you to relax. Sit up in your chair. Just take a nice deep breath because I'm about to plant a card in your mind. Okay? Stephanie, in a moment, you're going to hear a little voice inside your head. Not for the first time, I would imagine. But Stephanie, you will hear a card in your mind, and for some reason, you're just going to want to tell me what it is. You don't know why you're thinking of it. You don't know where that thought came from, but it will be in your mind. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Good stuff. Stephanie, there's 52 cards in a pack. 51 of them will be facing you. One of them is going to be facing me. Okay? So the back of that card will be facing you, where all the rest of the cards will be face forwards. Now, Stephanie, there's red cards and there's black cards. You've got the hearts, spades, clubs, diamonds, ace, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, jack, queen, and king. Stephanie, there should be one playing card in your mind right now. You don't know why it's there. It popped into your mind. Out loud, Stephanie, tell me the card that's in your mind.
The 5 of Hearts.
Perfect. Any reason why you went for the 5 of Hearts?
I have absolutely no idea.
And it genuinely just popped into your mind?
It just came into my head, yeah.
Wonderful. Stephanie, look, the cards are here. They won't go out of shot. I'm going to show you, just like I said, 51 cards will be facing you. 5 of Hearts, did you say?
That's right.
Yep, right there at the front. Look, I'll keep it right at the front so you can see all of these cards facing you, apart from one card, this card right here, Stephanie, which is your 5 of Hearts. There it is. Give yourself a round of applause. Everyone else, give Stephanie a round of applause. You can relax now. You're off the hook and enjoy the rest of the show. Let's pop those cards back down there. So now it is time to take a look at our next award category. So this is the Operations Management category, which is sponsored by Michael Page, one of the UK's leading logistics recruiters. With an established team of consultants who specialise in permanent, interim and outsourced recruitment solutions, Michael Page provide tailored recruitment solutions to maximise candidate engagement. The Operations Management category is awarded to an organisation that demonstrates its ability to measure the effect of operational improvement techniques and improve efficiency.
This category is sponsored by Michael Page. And the finalists are Kuehne + Nagel, Xpo Logistics with British Gypsum, Royal Mail Group.
This is a highly competitive category. A huge congratulations to the winner, Royal Mail Group. Let's take a look at their story.
Here we are at Princess Royal Distribution Centre. We run 3 modes of transport. The air network, we run 39 sectors every night out of 14 airports. The rail network, we run 10 trains every day out of 4 hubs. And the road network, we run 6,500 services every night out of 36 vehicle operating centres. We have around 2,500 trucks and around 3,500 trailers to support that. CPC is a 24/7, 365 control centre for Royal Mail Group. We look after the safety and security of our people first and foremost. After that, we control the networks in real time and deal with any issues they might have. An example of that will be yesterday, the West Coast main line was closed and we were unable to move trains from England into Scotland and Scotland into England. So we had to put plans in place to put all that by road to make sure that connected for our customers.
Central Postal Control, for me, is the glue that holds this network together. They make a huge difference, and particularly over this last year, when you've got somewhere like 1,600 individual operational units and they're facing challenges with cluster outbreaks or having to respond to many different kinds of event, it's a phone call. And we've got brilliant people sitting behind the desk that have done this many times, and having personally used them before, what a difference it makes. Now, not only do we get the response right, but the quality of the advice, the calmness, they just bring everything under control and make sure we can execute the contingency or the protocols as they should be. They make a massive, massive difference to the Royal Mail network. The impact of COVID has been very significant up and down our network. Many, many more parcels as we connect the country in lockdown, but also the operations had to change a lot. Social distancing measures, responding to absence levels, and permanently changing government guidance continually changes the shape of the operation. So we've had a lot to respond to.
So when COVID struck, the first thing we had to do was to look after the safety of our people. So we had to put in place a reporting process for any potential or confirmed COVID cases. We saw an increase in calls into CPC. So what we first did, we pulled in people that had worked in CPC before, and they allowed us to cope with the volume of work that we saw. It was up to about 400% increase at times. The next step for the team was we had to think about the COVID impact on us and where we were working. Government advice then was to work from home wherever possible. Now we couldn't do that, so we had to put in place a new phone system to allow us to do that, so they could use it off their laptops at home. And we did that within 7 days and get that fully deployed, allowing the team to work remotely and therefore not have to travel into work. So the operation had to change. So we saw a 60% increase in the volume of work that goes through our networks. And at the same time, we were impacted by COVID, so we had our own posties that were going off ill. So we had to bring in extra agency staff to help with that as well. And we just kept the network running, which then meant we could deliver Christmas for our people and for the country, and just kept it going as long as possible, and still doing that right now.
So my role in special events, which includes CPC, is to ensure that we plan effectively for Christmas and make it run as smoothly as possible, and as well as our response in Royal Mail to COVID-19. Up to now, we've delivered 90 million test kits for the country. That's to homes, care homes, schools, and back to laboratories, which is fantastic. We want to deliver for the nation. We've learned a lot from our response to COVID. We've been delivering for the nation every single day. We've delivered test kits, we've delivered parcels that customers have bought online, and we continue to deliver letters. Our posties go up and down the path every single day. Our truck drivers moving work around the country, they're doing a fantastic job. All of them are hidden heroes, and we've learned so much.
I'm sure you'll all agree there that the Royal Mail Group are worthy winners of the Operations Management Award. Our policy groups actively review the key issues affecting our industry and provide regular strategic insights and thought leadership for our members. They're also effective advocates of good practice across all sectors and seek to influence government policy at local, national and international levels. In 2020 alone, CILT attended over 100 meetings with government officials. This brings us on to our next award, the Transport Policy and Planning category. This award recognises a transport policy or project, including urban realm scheme or infrastructure project, which has delivered clear user benefits to the economy, public user or local community.
And the finalists are Royal Haskening GHV, Sustrans with Royal Borough of Kingston, Highways England.
Congratulations to Royal Haskening DHV, who have won over the judges for the second year running. Let's take a look at their journey.
Royal Haskoning DHV is an international consultancy providing services in transportation, energy, water, and the environment. I am Marwan Al-Azawi. I am the Sector Lead Director for Smart Mobility in the UK for Royal Haskoning DHV.
My name is Elke Scholz and I'm responsible for market research within Royal Haskoning DHV.
My name is Razia Kili. I'm personal assistant within Royal Haskoning DHV for business line transport and planning.
The coronavirus pandemic has triggered a sudden and unprecedented impact across the UK, as well as serious risks to people's health and impacts to the NHS. The pandemic has dramatically changed transport and logistics. This has significantly impacted CILT members and associated organisations. Since March 2020, Royal Haskoning DHV has been examining and advising the transport and logistics community on the effects of COVID-19 on travel patterns.
We gather data on multimodal travel patterns to identify the changes to transport across the UK. This data was collected from a number of stakeholders, industry colleagues, and various transport organizations. We also contacted various transport authorities across the UK, including central and local government agencies. We set up a program of rolling data collection to analyze trends. We examined the data to identify the scale of the impacts by different geographical locations. Given the large amount of information, we used various tools to visually analyze and present the impacts.
We freely shared and distributed our analysis results to members of the UK transport community. We set up an information distribution network with transport stakeholders. We maintained constant two-way dialogue with them to allow them to share their experiences. Such an approach gave us a clearer understanding of people's evolving responses to developing conditions. Monthly reports were prepared and released. This had a tremendous response uptake with nearly 700 organisations requesting access to our reports. We also shared case studies and examples of best practice.
As well as gathering data on observed travel patterns, we also carried out a comprehensive public consultation and an engagement process. We worked with government planners and transport authorities to develop an online survey. This allowed people and businesses to describe in detail their reactions to the pandemic, as well as express their concerns and plans for the future. This valuable information was also shared with the transport community to help them with their planning and running of services. By providing key agencies and stakeholders across the UK, we've been able to give important insights and support. Feedback from stakeholders has confirmed this has helped them to reduce risks, manage existing road infrastructure better, and help to keep critical areas moving. Sharing our findings with the wider community has helped to provide real tangible benefits across the UK.
We've learned a tremendous amount during the last year and during the course of this project. We've learned how transportation will evolve as we transition out of the restrictions after the pandemic. We are honoured to have been recognised by the CILT for the work we have done. There's been a lot of hard work and effort gone in by the whole team, not just the people who are here, and we are delighted by the response we have received.
Okay, and well done again to everyone involved in that category. So we are going to go back to our Zoom audience. Where are they? There you are. Fantastic. All right, I'm going to, for this, let me just take a little peek. Kevin, would you unmute yourself for me, please? Good evening, Kevin. Can you hear me?
I can, Matt. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Enjoying the show, Kevin?
Very much so.
Oh, slightly less enthusiastic than Stephanie, but it's all right. We won't hold that against you, Kevin. Kevin, I've got a little challenge for you here, and I'm going to implant something into your mind now, which we're going to come back to at the end of the show, okay? So it means you've got to sit through the rest of it, and please don't leave before the end. Otherwise, you're going to ruin my act, Kevin. Don't do that. Kevin, I've got two envelopes right here. One says mine and one says yours. And I can tell you that inside one of these envelopes is a prize that I'm going to try to not let you win. And that prize is a picture. It's a picture of me. It's like a poster. And it says, "I beat the mind reader. He did not fool me." That's in one of these envelopes. If you choose the correct envelope and the picture's there, I'll get that emailed to you and you get the bragging rights forevermore that it doesn't matter what I do, I didn't fool you. Okay, you can put it as a screensaver, put it on your fridge, get a t-shirt made. You'll be the man, you'll be the legend of these awards, Kevin. All you got to do is choose the correct envelope. So, are you ready?
I am.
Here we go. Psychologically, if I hold this envelope up and it says mine, you're thinking to yourself, I don't want to take that envelope. It looks like it belongs to him. It feels a little bit uncomfortable taking something from someone that says mine, okay? So you're going to be more drawn to the envelope that says yours because it feels like I'm trying to give this to you, Kevin. It feels like I'm trying to give you this envelope because it says yours. Your brain's going to be more receptive to taking this envelope. But equally, you will have heard about things like reverse psychology, double bluffing. So you might be thinking, he doesn't want me to have the mine envelope, so I'll take it. He wants me to have the yours envelope, so I won't take it. But then it could be a triple bluff, Kevin. We could be here all day going backwards and forwards over which one of these envelopes to take. Now, Kevin, the other thing I want you to bear in mind is that even across the airwaves on a virtual platform, right the way through the internet, you can clearly see that mine is a lot bigger than yours. Kevin, that also might affect your decision making, but I don't want you to make your decision just yet, Kevin. We are going to come back at the end of the show to see how you get on, and I'm going to try and get you to change your mind a few times. Is that okay?
That's fine. Yep.
Beautiful. Thank you very much, Kevin. You can mute yourself again and we'll come back to these a little bit later. Okay, so let us now take a look at our next award category. Proudly sponsored by FORS, the Voluntary Accreditation Scheme for Fleet Operators, which aims to raise the level of quality within the fleet operations and to demonstrate which operators are achieving exemplary levels of best practice in safety, efficiency and environmental protection. The passenger transport category is awarded to an organisation that has achieved outstanding improvements in passenger services and implemented new technology or equipment. We received a high number of entries in this category and the judges were blown away with the great initiatives that have been implemented across the sector.
This category is sponsored by FORS. And the finalists are Cura, Hover Travel, and U-Track and First UK Bus.
And the winner is Hover Travel. A big congratulations to them and let's take a look.
Our first patient was carried in April. It proved an instant success. I'm Steve Attrell. I'm a hovercraft pilot here at Ryde on the Isle of Wight. Now, Hover Travel's been operating across the Solent to Portsmouth for 55 years now. Behind us is our latest generation of hovercraft built by our sister company Griffin Hoverwork at Southampton. It's capable of carrying 78 passengers on flights of 1.5 metres above the sea at speeds of up to 45 knots. And that completes the crossing here to Portsmouth in under 10 minutes. In a typical year, we'd expect to carry 750,000 passengers on the route between Ryde and Portsmouth. 2020 started as a normal year, and then in March, COVID hit, and overnight our passenger numbers dropped by 90%. With the drop-off in passenger numbers experienced by all ferry operators to the Isle of Wight, the only way we could really manage the numbers was to reduce the frequency of operations, and that then brought new problems. Passengers typically would have an opportunity of a crossing every 30 minutes, and with COVID, needed to wait for up to 2 hours. The Isle of Wight community is reliant on the mainland hospitals for its emergency care, critical care, and therefore the reduction to a 2-hourly frequency of departure really did impact the level of critical care that could be offered them. Because of these issues, the Isle of Wight Local Resilience Forum identified the need to continue to transfer critically ill patients to mainland hospitals. Hover travel was identified as being the fastest and most efficient way to transfer patients off island. Having identified the opportunities, we then had to make it happen. And that brought with it a number of challenges. The first hurdle was achieving an engineering solution to allow us to secure a patient on a stretcher in the cabin of the craft. We achieved this by using the ramp that the hovercraft is fitted with, which was fortunately just wide enough for a stretcher to fit inside the craft. Our engineers have designed a new securing mechanism for the stretcher. This mechanism was then subject to regulatory approval to ensure that the patient could be transferred safely. To gain approval required our engineering solution to be approved, our emergency drills to be approved, and our staff training to be approved. To bring this to fruition required a collaboration between ourselves and the NHS. That's the NHS on the Isle of Wight, the ambulance service on the Isle of Wight, and the ambulance services on the mainland. We achieved all this from concept to delivery in just 2 weeks. In April, we carried our first patients, and it very quickly became an instant success. The patients were reached in the mainland hospitals far quicker than we first expected. Secondly, the paramedics and the ambulance crew were returned to the island within 30 minutes, which is a huge saving for them. Had the ambulance crews used the ferries, they would potentially have been away for 6 to 8 hours. This is something that was born out of COVID, but it's probably here now for the long run. It gives all the staff a great pride that we're actually helping save people's lives and giving them better life expectancies through access to critical care that's not available on the island. And it's unusual in life to have a win-win-win, but in this situation, the patients are getting a better service, the ambulance crews are able to return to the front line, delivering efficiencies there, and it's obviously good for the hovercraft industry and our company. We're delighted to be recognised, it's fantastic, but it would be great now to go on and take the award.
The Hover Travel project shows that passenger transport is not just about delivering large volumes of passengers, but with some engineering skill and willing regulatory authorities, additional uses of vehicles can be developed. So congratulations to Hover Travel for going above and beyond to support the local community. The Supply Chain Innovation Award is awarded to an organisation that has recently introduced one significant innovation that has enhanced and improved the organisation's supply chain. To qualify for the Supply Chain Innovation accolade, entrants were asked to provide comprehensive data to support the business benefits of the innovation. This year, the Supply Chain Innovation category is sponsored by Clipper Logistics, a leader in retail logistics. Clipper Logistics has been at the forefront of retail and high-value logistics for more than 2 decades and operates across over 40 sites in the UK and mainland Europe with a workforce of over 3,500. Clipper Logistics offer their customers a fast, fluid approach, giving them the ability to overcome any logistics or supply chain management challenge with speed and agility.
This category is sponsored by Clipper Logistics. And the finalists are Zigzag Global, Drop and Drive Claims Work Group, Xpo Logistics.
And the winner is Zigzag Global. A huge congratulations there to Zigzag Global on using an excellent blend of innovative supply chain technology to provide an immediate exchange service for its customers. Let's take a look at their story.
I'm Al Gerry and I'm the founder and CEO of Zigzag Global. I was a retailer for about 20 years and I saw the problem with returns firsthand in the market. So Zigzag is a return solution to help retailers manage returns both domestically and globally. We plug into a retailer's website to give the consumer a choice about which product they're returning and collect data insights about who, what, where, when and why products are coming back. And then we're collecting carrier information, so we're offering parcel shops, lockers, post offices or collection from home, and we support both free returns and paid returns to bring products back into the supply chain more quickly. Returns are a massive headache for retailers, and around 59% of shoppers won't ever buy again if they've had a bad returns experience. So it's vital that brands get that right. And around a third of shoppers are now buying multiple sizes, multiple colours, so they're using the bedroom as the new fitting room. Consumers want faster refunds to a local returns address, and many times they don't have a printer. And with Brexit thrown into mix, returns become harder to manage. During 2020, obviously with stores being closed, it's been a real challenge for retailers to keep up with demand for e-commerce, but the returns have been on the increase. And we've seen customers changing behaviour, so older shoppers are buying more, and we've also had changes in consumer choice, where consumers want to have collection from home more often, for example, because they're locked down. We've built a paperless return solution with Shell and a number of other carriers, but the Shell solution helps consumers return products using a QR code, so there's no printer required, and the consumer gets a choice of where they want to drop that off. Advantages around free parking, for example, and many Shell sites are 24 hours as well. Brexit's also presented huge challenges for retailers, particularly around customs declarations, and if you ask a customer to fill out a customs declaration, they're going to get it wrong 100% of the time. So the software that we've built enables a consumer to return in 60 seconds without the need to fill in any paperwork. We've built some strong reporting functionality in the software to help retailers understand when to refund customers earlier in the journey. During 2020, we've built new carrier services, and we're now operating 400 different carrier services in 130 countries. We're plugging in to some of the world's largest retailers like Boohoo, Gap, Superdry, Selfridges and Inditex, and we've white labelled the solution to DHL and Maersk. By helping retailers to remove paper from packaging, we've been able to cut paper waste and save millions of trees along the way and cut the carbon footprint for retailers. We're also helping retailers resell goods locally, which is removing the need for landfill. I think when I started Zigzag 6 years ago, we were quite early in the market. The problem was that retailers weren't really ready for that kind of solution. Now it's evolved, and actually we're bang on the money. We've got the right business at the right time and a solution that retailers are crying out for. One of the big challenges around COVID is obviously the demand for our product has meant that we've had to increase as a team, and the number of people have gone from about 35 to about 75 people. And so just onboarding that many people in a short space of time from home remotely has been quite a challenge. I'm really proud of the way that the Zigzag team pulled together during 2020 to work remotely, and we've been able to build some of the world's most cutting-edge returns technology. It's great that we've been recognised by CILT for the work we're doing with retailers and carriers alike to help cut returns and improve the returns journey for consumers. And we're very proud of the work we've done around sustainability.
Well done there again to everyone in that category. Fantastic. So let's go back now to our Zoom audience and see what delights we have in store this time. So everyone's still there? Give me a little wave. There we go. There's our Zoom wave. I love it. Now you can see I've got a little friend of mine joining us for this. Is my ventriloquist dummy, and a little story that you may not know about ventriloquist dummies. When you buy them, they've got a name, and it doesn't matter how many times you sell them or buy them or pass them on. You're not allowed to change their name. The name stays, it's a bit like a person. The name stays with the dummy. I bought this one about 12 years ago, and originally I just used to have him in the background as a sort of a prop. But then I started introducing him into the show because I figured out a way of telling everybody his name without saying it. And it happens letter by letter. And I'm going to put the letters in your minds and see if you can figure out, I guess, what his name is. So I'm going to start off. Let's get my pen and a piece of card. All of you, I want you all to start thinking about what the first letter of his name could be. Just the first letter, get that in your mind. And I am going to, let's just go down here. I'm going to start off by asking Ali G. Ali G is with us. Ali, unmute yourself.
Hi there.
Good evening. Is it really you?
It is really me.
Brilliant.
I've got a very long surname and it sort of runs off the end of the
Oh, what is it? I've got to know that.
Glandfield.
Say no more. Thank God for that D at the end of your name. That's all I can say. Now, Ali, you will have a letter in your mind right now. You know full well what the first letter of his name is, and you don't even know why you know it. Tell me the letter that's in your mind.
A.
Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Now, people are going to swear that we've set this up, but Ali, we haven't. And A is the first letter of your first name. Could be the reason why. Who knows? Ali, for now, thank you. Mute yourself. I'm going to zip right back over to Fiona, who I kept calling Lucy. Fiona, have you got used to being called Lucy yet, or do you want to stick with Fiona?
Stick with Fiona. It works so far.
It works so it does. Not for me. I'm struggling with it. Fiona, you will have the next letter of his name in your mind right now. Tell me what you think it is.
R.
Yes, R. Well done. Any reason why you thought of R?
Nope.
Just popped into your mind. That's the way it's supposed to happen. For now, Lucy, thank you. Mute yourself back up. We are going to whiz straight up to, where is he? Chris. Chris, unmute yourself. I'm going to use you for this. The next letter, you know what it is. Say it.
T.
T. Good. Art so far. I can tell you there are 2 letters left. At this point, Ali went for the first letter because that was the first letter of her name. Fiona, I'm glad I didn't start this with you. Otherwise, we'd be in trouble. 2 letters left. I'm going to do this quickly. Let's nip up to Graham. Graham, give me the next letter.
S.
S. Good man. Perfect. Now, it's always the final letter. This is always the sticky bit, always the stumbling block. This is where someone goes for an X or a Z and tries to ruin the whole thing. It's not an X and it's not a Z, okay? Just in case any of you were thinking of doing that. It is a name that makes sense. I'll explain why it makes sense, but the next letter relies on one of you, and it's going to be... Stephanie, give us that final letter, please.
I was worried it was going to be me.
Me too.
E?
Yep, it is an E. Artsy. The letter E. It's perfect. Now, you won't know why you thought of these letters. You won't know why this name's popped up. Artsy. I can tell you, I told you, 12 years ago, I bought this ventriloquist dummy. I bought it from a shop in Belgium. I was out there doing a run of shows, and the guy worked in a circus. He was in the front window. Artsy was in the front window. I said, I've got to have him. Picked him up. He comes with a certificate with his name on. Like I told you, you can't change their name. There's the certificate right there in that envelope. Artsy, I'll be careful. I'll do it at fingertips. Let's get this open and show you, if I can. First of all, the little certificate in there. Here it is. I'm very excited about this. There he is. Can you see it? It's Artsy. Zoom in on it, make sure we can see. Give yourselves a huge round of applause. My little pal, don't touch me. Sorry, there you are. Artsy's there. Perfect. Okay, let's take a look at the next category. A diverse and firm favourite year on year, the Technology Innovation category recognises outstanding innovation in the use of new technology as well as novel uses of existing technology. Entrants to this category were asked to evidence the business benefit of such innovations and provide examples of user interfaces.
This category is sponsored by Tritax Big Box. And the finalists are Battersea Power Station and Logistics Partners Consultancy Limited, RTI-TB and MA System, Network Rail.
And the winner is Network Rail. Let's take a look at their journey.
Hello, I'm Mike Mason. I'm a program manager for Network Rail and the Intelligent Infrastructure program. I've worked in the rail industry now for about 17 years, working in data analysis and then working my way up to program manager of R&D and product development on the Intelligent Infrastructure program. Here at Network Rail, we maintain the UK rail infrastructure. We've got roughly 20,000 kilometres of railway that we maintain. And we have a large fleet of infrastructure vehicles that run around the network, monitoring the condition of our tracks. So whether they're level, whether they cause bounces, and we use that data and intelligence to then tell us when we need to go and maintain those assets to ensure that everyone gets a nice safe ride and that everyone can get around doing their daily business. We use our infrastructure monitoring fleet to collect the information, measure to a threshold, and then we react to that. What we want to do is move to a proactive way of managing the intelligence, i.e. we can predict before we hit that point and then go out and maintain the railway in that way, passing on less delays to passengers and making our own work banks more efficient. The product is called Insight and we've been developing it over the last 2 years. So the reason we built the new product is so that operatives can then align all their data through space and time to give them that ability to predict when faults will occur and move from a reactive to a proactive organisation. I mean, the main challenges we've had around building the product is initially the R&D element, the ability to provide the intelligence to then drive what the product's intended to do. But the main challenge is we're trying to work in an agile way, and that is rather than define all the requirements up front and deliver a product at the end, we're trying to build it iteratively as we go. And the challenge around that is obviously developing quick enough to meet the user's aspirations of what agile is. The way we implement the product out to users is we use a really heavy business change approach with our agile delivery model. So every step of the build is done with our customers. So from a proof of concept phase where we're testing the algorithms we create in research and development, through a prototype phase where customers actually get to play with the product before we roll it out and test the functionality we put in. And then we move to a pilot stage where we go to a national test, and then we will move to national rollout. So when I say national rollout, what I mean is that's just for the first capability of the product. The product itself has multiple capabilities we're going to drop through our control period. So the business change element is key in keeping that engagement with the customer through those process steps. We just completed our extensive testing of the product, testing the algorithms and the engineering intelligence we put in, and customers are about to use the product live against the way we want them to work, i.e. moving from reactive to proactive on a smaller scale test, ready for national rollout for the whole company. If we can deliver Insight as we intend, it will be probably the most proud moment of my career and the team itself. So we've all come together in a way which is unbelievable, and I can only take my hat off to every member that's been involved in the development of Insight. I'd like to say a big thank you really to all the people that have been involved with the building and production of Insight, right down to our end user customers in the trenches, through the track work stream. Big call outs to Rob York and Kelly Quirk, and to the R&D colleagues that work for me, Paul Carter and Andy Nowici-Holdsworth, as well as our cognizant delivery leads who we've all pulled together, and I can't be more proud of all of you.
Congratulations to Network Rail. As the chartered body for the professionals involved in the movement of goods and people and their associated supply chains, we actively encourage organisations to adopt a learning culture where every employee is motivated to learn new skills and acquire new learnings. Ensuring our teams stay well informed on industry trends and best practices helps the profession to keep growing and improves our agility. People are at the heart of all that we do, and it's therefore paramount that we continue to invest in the professional development of our staff so we remain dynamic, resilient, and continue to attract the brightest talent to our sectors. So that brings us nicely on to our next category, people development, which is sponsored by the Open University. Located in Milton Keynes, the Open University is the leading university for flexible, innovative teaching and world-leading research in the UK and over 150 countries worldwide. A recent report by the Open University indicates that in the past year, a vital shortfall in skills has resulted in employers spending £6.6 billion to fill their short-term skill gaps. The People Development category is awarded to an organisation that has demonstrated a new and innovative approach to staff development and made learning and development a key part of their strategy.
This category is sponsored by the Open University. And the finalists are DriveTech, Xpo Logistics, PD Ports,
and the winner is Xpo Logistics. Let's take a look at how they've become worthy award winners.
My name is Mark Simmons. I'm the HR Director for Xpo Logistics in the UK and Ireland. Xpo is a global top 10 provider of supply chain solutions. Today we serve over 50,000 customers. We have in excess of 100,000 employees, and we have over 1,600 locations across 30 countries. If I bring that closer to home in the UK, we have now over 30,000 Xpo employees across the business, spanning 250 sites, and we tipped over 30,000 with the recent acquisition of the contract logistics business in January of this year.
Hi everyone, my name's Chris Dolby. I head up Learn Development at XPO. This entry really encompasses our investment in people development over the past 12 years, which has been a cornerstone of our success as an organisation. We're delighted to be shortlisted for the CILT Awards, where this particular entry focuses on our investment in the apprenticeship levy.
When we started our apprenticeship journey in 2017, we only had a handful of apprentices on a very small number of schemes. My name's Rebecca Cox. I'm the Senior Manager for Talent and Development. We wanted to be an organisation who embraced the apprenticeship levy and take advantage of this opportunity to invest in our people. We've worked really hard to build tailored programmes and recruit young people to grow our future talent.
In May 2017, the way the government funded apprenticeships in the UK changed significantly, which had a fundamental impact on our Learn Development strategy as an organisation. Learn Development has always been a foundation of our success at XPO. Therefore, we had to build a project that aimed to identify the most effective and efficient solution for the business in order to maximise our return on our apprenticeship levy.
Hi guys, my name's Amy Natishan. I'm the Talent Development Manager at Xpo Logistics. One of the major challenges for the industry of transport and supply chain is that it isn't seen to be an industry which young people want to go into. So we work really hard in engagement for our talent pipeline in recruiting young people, both as apprentices and graduates.
At XPO, people are the heart of everything we do. Therefore, it's vitally important to continue to invest in their development, as it not only supports their growth, it supports the growth of the organisation.
So we reach out to every individual on sites that want to undertake an apprenticeship to ensure that it's the right programme for them, and also to ensure that they have a nationally recognised qualification alongside their development, which gives back to the business, but also as an individual.
A great example of one of our success stories is Kishan Patel, who was our very first apprentice. He started on a storage and warehousing programme, established himself within the business, then moved on to the graduate programme. In so doing, done another apprenticeship, a leadership and management apprenticeship, and is now a senior ops manager at one of our highly prestigious e-commerce contracts.
Another great success story of how we've utilised the apprenticeship levy to develop our colleagues is we recruited an entry-level HR apprentice. She completed her level 3 CIPD programme, went on to do her level 5 CIPD programme, has been promoted in the business and is now one of our key HR advisors at one of our local contracts.
Our apprenticeship programmes have been in place now for well over 3 years. Our offerings continue to go from strength to strength, and the depth and breadth of the different programmes we have, ranging from level 2 to level 7, spanning over 32 different programs. And today we have 800 apprentices in place across UK business, with a gender split of 50-50 male and female, which is something we're super proud of. I'd just like to take the opportunity to give a big shout out and thank Chris, Amy, Rebecca, and the fantastic team that we have that drive the apprenticeship agenda within the UK business.
A huge congratulations there to Xpo Logistics. It's clear to see that the learning and development strategy initiated by Xpo Logistics has enabled them to drive outstanding performance by encouraging colleagues to reach their potential for the benefits of the individual, the business and their customers. A fantastic achievement. So let's go back to the Zoomers for the final time. Kevin, are you there?
I am, Matt.
Brilliant. Thank you very much for unmuting yourself. All that way back, I asked you to make a decision over the yours or the mine envelope for the chance to win a picture of me that says, I beat the mind reader, he did not fool me. And all of these wonderful things that you've seen me do this evening, you get the bragging rights to say, nope, didn't get me. So, are you ready? Have you been thinking?
I have.
And did you make a decision?
I did. I've taken an example from my wife.
Okay, which means you didn't make the decision. She did.
No, I did. But
oh, you did.
Say, yeah, what's mine is mine, and what's yours is mine as well.
So you want both?
Well, she would, but I will go for mine.
You're going to go for the mine envelope?
Yep.
All right. Okay. Interesting choice. I can't encourage you to change your mind?
Nope.
All right. Let's keep this here. We have the mine envelope. Kevin, I can tell you that inside the mine envelope, there is nothing more than... Oh, don't drop it. An I Beat the Mind Reader poster. It's yours. You did it. You've got your wife to thank. You've got the bragging rights. You're the legend of the award ceremony. You can take this everywhere you go and tell everyone that I didn't fool you, Kevin. You did it. How does that feel?
That feels very good. Thank you.
Feels very good. Now, I know what you're probably thinking, and everyone else is probably thinking the same thing. There's a good chance that he's got that picture in this envelope as well, just trying to sort of send everyone off with a happy smile. Not true, because if you'd have gone for the yours envelope, you would not have won that picture. £150, Kevin, would have been yours if you'd have gone for the yours envelope. It's your wife's fault, but I suggest you blame yourself for choosing the wrong envelope. Would have been yours, but it's not. But you've got that wonderful picture of me and the bragging rights, Kevin. Congratulations anyway. And I don't care what anyone else thinks of you right here, right now. In my eyes, you are a winner. Give yourself a huge round of applause, Kevin, and everyone else. Okay, let's take a look at the next award category. The Diversity Champion Award is proudly sponsored by Michael Page. Michael Page Logistics, a leading logistics recruiter, upholds the Page Group value of changing lives for people through creating opportunity to reach potential, and ensure an honest, consultative approach that identifies the best talent for their clients and provides candidates with guidance, advice, and support. Our 2020 finalists have championed diversity and inclusion within their own organisation and the wider profession. They have led by example and articulated the need to improve diversity and inclusion in a way that engages and inspires.
This category is sponsored by Michael Page. Hoping to take home the Diversity Champion title are John Cybotham, Programme Manager at Network Rail, Kate Lester, CEO of Diamond Logistics, Rob Nolan, CILT Pride Professional Network Forum Chair.
And the winner is John Cybotham, Programme Manager at Network Rail. Let's see how John became a CILT Awards winner for excellence.
My name's John Cybotham. I work in the Intelligent Infrastructure Programme for Network Rail. Particular responsibilities around diversity, inclusion and health and well-being. And the diversity and inclusion of our people is fundamental to our success. We really encourage openness and we encourage everybody to be kind, which actually gets more out of people. If you're kinder, it releases oxytocin, which lowers your blood pressure. It helps you to improve eye contact. It just makes it easier to deal with, and it brings forward great innovative solutions for our customers that we might not get otherwise. Everybody's opinion is really valuable to us in moving things forward, so we have a safer, more productive railway. Before COVID, we'd seen health and well-being and diversity inclusion fundamental to our success. We've got about 45 Network Rail people, but about 500 others from a contractor family, both in the UK and overseas, and we wanted everybody to follow the same values and the same behaviours. We were really concerned about those people who are isolated, so we started a daily wellbeing call on 23rd of March 2020, which we're still doing now, and it creates a safe space for people to come on and just talk about tips and tools to stay well. But in that, we've also taken the opportunity to explore other things like tackling unconscious bias or racism, or things like menopause, or things around different aspects of cancer. And we think that if people are able to talk about these big things that affect their lives, then they're able to tackle if something's going to be a little late on a milestone, and actually bring forward innovative ideas into the programme where people feel they can actually share their thoughts and ideas for better solutions for our customers. And the more we talk about them, the more we tackle them. I myself had some time off work with depression, and I'm just keen to sort of talk about that journey and sort of mechanisms to stay well. And the more we're open about these things, it's just good for our overall team's performance, that we're just more human with each other, we're more caring with each other. It's simply the right thing to do. We've probably got one of the most diverse teams in the whole of the business, both the people in the UK and overseas. We've got a big contingent in India. We really celebrate neurodiversity as well as age, ethnicity, faiths and beliefs. Neurodiversity, for example, you might have dyslexia or dyspraxia, but if you've got dyslexia, you might have a greater ability to think strategically. So my programme director has got dyslexia, and she thinks in a fantastic strategic way. She's a great asset to our business. Similarly, if you've got aspects of autism, you might be much better at maths and physics, but our recruitment processes might make it very difficult for you to enter our business. Really, it makes great business sense to address diversity and inclusion robustly and tackle barriers which are there and get some great talent into your organisations that you haven't really thought of to provide great solutions and impact your bottom line. We've got a link with an organisation called Renacy, which finds placements for refugees who've got right to work status in the UK, highly qualified people, displaced for no fault of their own. We're delighted to have them on our team. Just seeing how they blossom and flourish and how their confidence grows, that they're offering something back to our country, that we've given them a home, but they're giving something back to us. It's just magical to see. It's a delight to be recognised by CILT. I've been a member of it for many, many years. I've always worked in the transport sector, and to be doing something which you know is really making a difference, but be recognised by the Institute, is just great. We'll be thrilled to win it and just promote what we've been doing, and hopefully other businesses can learn from it and apply some of the good practice we put in place.
A huge congratulations to John there for championing the consideration of mental health in Network Rail's policies and procedures, and for his clear passion and enthusiasm. Another popular category each year, it's time to find out who is the 2020 CILT Awards for Excellence Rising Star. Awarded to an individual who has demonstrated an ability to overcome challenges and used innovative thinking to raise standards and create best practice. The 2020 Rising Star finalists have all driven their own career and made a significant personal impact upon their respective organisations.
This category is sponsored by Xpo Logistics. The 2020 Rising Star finalists are Lloyd Morris, Site Manager, GIST, Toby France, Area Head of Commercial, Arriva Bus UK, Siobhan Afford, Site Manager, GIST.
And the winner is Siobhan Afford. Let's have a look at Siobhan's amazing story.
So I'm a big fan of Siobhan. Siobhan, I've worked with Siobhan since 2018.
She's a young woman in quite a male-dominated environment, and that would be intimidating for anybody. And the way she's dealt with that is nothing short of outstanding.
Over the sort of last 3 years, she's just grown in the breadth of capability and her ability to lead a team as opposed to manage a team. And that, for me, is one of her key strengths. Yeah, she's got this uncanny knack of engaging with people in a really warm way.
There's no doubt about it. Siobhan is potentially a superstar. I recently did her MPP, and I said to her then that she's the first person that I've ever reviewed or worked with that has the potential to score 5 across the board in her MPP.
Hi, my name's Siobhan Afford and I'm the General Manager in our Chesterfield site. I've had a really great career within GIST. When I started GIST, I joined as an admin clerk, just doing kind of some admin day-to-day functions for the warehouse. I then started to progress into becoming a warehouse team manager, then on to be an ops manager for the warehouse, then the warehouse manager, and then finally become a site manager. My role in GIST has helped me massively develop as a person from when I think where I was as an admin clerk, I was very probably shy and timid, to where I am now, 9 years on in the journey. I've grown massively in confidence. What I love most about my role within GIST is being able to connect to all employees on site and make them feel that they have a voice to be able to change and make a difference to the site and the culture and where we want to take the site moving forward. My message to my colleagues and anyone wanting to join this industry is it doesn't matter the kind of background you're from and the qualifications that you have. If you really have a passion and a desire to work with people and work within logistics, just apply yourself, work hard, and you can achieve what I've achieved in the 8 years that I've been in GIST. The biggest standout for me was when I was given the chance to go to Seattle to work. That was one of my biggest achievements within GIST. I was able to go over to Seattle, inspire, coach and empower the team how to do the job on a day-to-day basis without any UK support. I've most recently been promoted to the role of a general manager at our Chesterfield site, which I'm really excited about. I'm looking forward to connecting to every single employee on site to really make Chesterfield the most safest, engaging site within GIST. I'm really looking forward to grow and develop to become a better leader. It feels really great to be recognised by CILT as a Rising Star finalist.
With only a couple of awards left, it brings me great pleasure to welcome back Steve Gooding to present the Individual President's Award.
Every year, as you probably know, it's in the gift of the President to make a special award. Well, in a normal year, finding a person or a team who stands head and shoulders above everyone else is a tough job, a hard job. In the year that's just gone by, in my view, it's an impossible job. And I say that because so many people have put in so much effort and worked so hard to keep this country moving. So rather than make an individual award or indeed award a team, what I'm going to say is, I award you all. Congratulations to everyone in the CILT who's worked so hard, and I raise my glass to you, and I suggest you raise your glasses too, and we say cheers, thank you so much for all your hard work.
Now we come to the final award of the evening, the prestigious Sir Robert Lawrence Award. The Sir Robert Lawrence Award is the Institute's premier award for logistics and transport. In previous years, this award has recognised an individual who has made a major and sustained contribution to the profession. But this past year has been anything but normal.
Here with a personal message to present the Sir Robert Lawrence Award is Ian Clough, Managing Director, Network Logistics and Transport, DHL.
It gives me great pleasure to be with you this evening and present the Sir Robert Lawrence Award. I'm Ian Clough, the Managing Director for Transport at DHL Supply Chain. This past year has demonstrated how critical logistics is to everyday life in the UK. It's at times like these when we're reminded that we'd be nothing without the extraordinary efforts of DHL's 40,000 colleagues and the thousands of others across our industry. Logistics people are going the extra mile every day to ensure supermarkets are stocked, people are transported to their appointments, and everything from food to gym equipment is delivered to our homes. As a major logistics organisation, DHL are very proud to sponsor this prestigious award. The Sir Robert Lawrence Award is the Institute's premier award for logistics and transport. In previous years, this award has recognised an individual who has made a major sustained contribution to the profession. But this year has been far from normal, and the stories shared this evening has shown that we are stronger together. We can all make a difference. This year's hidden hero is Elaine Allett of Nottingham Community Transport. Elaine has worked tirelessly during the COVID-19 pandemic to keep the local community moving. An everyday hidden hero who is an ambassador for the profession. Let's hear more about this year's Sir Robert Lawrence Award winner.
When I read the description of the award for Hidden Hero, it was very difficult to limit myself to 500 words to express exactly what Elaine means to this business. And I think it's been a real privilege, a real honour, the fact that CILT have acknowledged this and shortlisted her for the Hidden Hero Award.
Hello, good afternoon. My name is Elaine and I currently work for Nottingham Community Transport and I am in charge of EasyLink and Group Travel. Community is everything. That's what Nottingham Community Transport is about. It's about helping people within the local community.
And the first thing that really strikes you about Elaine is just how passionate she is about her job. And she's such a people person. She's warm. She greets you, and she stays with your memory. You know that you know what a lovely person she is.
So the role that I currently do, I work for the charity, Nottingham Community Transport, and I deal a lot with people that are elderly, vulnerable, disabled, and I'm one of these. I like to give the personal touch. So the job that I do, I can give the personal touch. If they need something, they can ring me, I can do it. And during the recent lockdown, obviously there's been a lot of people that have suffered with their mental health and things. So I've just been contacting people and assisting them in what they need to make themselves well again. And it's for me, it's the job that I love. I was made to do this job. I was made to go out and help people, not only people that are our customers or our service users as we call them, but people in the community. So I've been doing all sorts of things since the lockdown began last year, helping people that have got young families that are struggling to feed the families that can't afford to buy the kids toys, Easter eggs. I've got boxes full of Easter eggs. Anything where I can help anybody, I will do it, and I don't care who they are. Anybody that needs help, they can come to me anytime, and they all know that as well.
So, you know, at the end of the day, when we came into the pandemic, Elaine really stepped up then, because we couldn't operate EasyLink, you know, and we were absolutely devastated by the loss of our driver, Andy Howe. Everyone was knocked sideways in the business, but Elaine stepped up.
I just think it would be fantastic for Elaine to win this, because she has put so much effort into helping people, and to get the recognition that I think she deserves, because everything that she's done has been off her own initiative. She's had hasn't had to come to me or any of the managers for any support or guidance with this. Everything she's done has been on her own initiative.
My background is in community transport for a good 20 odd years. Well, I can honestly say that if I interviewed 100 people for Elaine's job, I wouldn't find anyone better than Elaine, because she has just got it naturally, and that's something that you can't teach.
I did have a little cry because Ian showed me the thing that he'd sent in, and I never in a million years, I don't do it for people to say well done. I do it for me. I do it for the sense of achievement that I get every single day. But to get recognised by Ian and Andrew and everybody else in the community for what I do, It's just mind-blowing, you know, and I love this job so much, and I just do it because I want to do it. I don't need anyone to tell me what to do, because it's passion, it's inside me, the fire is inside me. I just want to get it done. I want to go and help these people that need help. And the community transport, that's what it's about. We're here to help, we're here to assist, you know, and to get where I've got to, I can't believe it. You know, I even spoke to my brother on FaceTime and told him, and I've told him if I win that I'm having him in a photo shoot with me as well, because he's been my inspiration. So my brother will be in the photos.
Congratulations, Elaine. I couldn't be prouder of anyone working for our organisation. You absolutely deserve this award. Well done.
Congratulations, Elaine. Well done for being our hidden hero for Nottingham Community Transport and the local community. Well done.
Thank you for all the hard work that you've put in over the last 12 months. It's very much appreciated by many people, including myself.
Thank you, Elaine, for everything you do for us, and congratulations.
A huge congratulations to all of our award winners tonight. It really does show that the profession has gone above and beyond over the last 12 months. In 2019, we were delighted to welcome our patron, Her Royal Highness, the Princess Royal, as guest of honour at the Awards for Excellence event in central London. During her address to the profession, she reflected on the critical role the Institute has to play in bringing professionals together to share valuable insights and understand best practice. Little did we know then the greater demands and uncertain times that lay ahead for our sectors at the foot of the COVID-19 pandemic. The past 12 months have shown that logistics, transport and supply chain professionals truly are the blood that flows through the country. Your efforts and expertise that have ensured the UK kept moving during the most challenging of times has been recognised far and wide. With a special message to you all, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to welcome our patron, Her Royal Highness, the Princess Royal.
As patron of the Chartered Institute of Logistics and Transport, I'm pleased to welcome you to the Awards for Excellence this evening. It's an event which brings the widely dispersed practitioners of logistics and transport all together once a year. It is an event where we recognise excellence right across the profession. The Awards for Excellence is now in its 28th year. Yet during this time, perhaps there has not been a more challenging period for us than the one we have faced over the last 12 months. Never in the post-war era has the country relied so much upon our profession and its network of hidden heroes, whether that be logistics, passenger transport, or supply chains. Our hidden key workers have kept the country moving forward, and you have all played an integral role in facilitating journeys for other key workers and delivering essential goods to the nation's doorsteps, hospitals, supermarkets, and countless other vital places. The importance of what you do cannot be overstated. It is no exaggeration to say you cannot lock down logistics. The profession make possible all that we rely upon and all that is essential to our everyday life. On top of the challenges presented by the pandemic, there has also been the challenge of the UK leaving the EU on the 1st of January 2021. This has been an equally complex challenge to which the profession has had to adapt. More than ever, we must demonstrate the rigorous planning our profession requires and find innovative and pragmatic solutions to meet the changing demands and circumstances in which we find ourselves. And there are more challenges ahead. The recovery of the passenger sector in order to support the nation's rural communities, the movement of those with limited accessibility, and delivering net zero emissions all need to be tackled. Meeting these challenges will require great endeavour, ingenuity and creativity, as well as a renewed appreciation of what really matters in life. Adversity often brings out the best in human spirit, and I am proud of the way the profession and all its sectors has come together to keep people and goods moving in these most testing of times. I was delighted to see this was recognised with so many awards in Her Majesty's Birthday COVID Honours list. It gives me great pleasure to be with you tonight to celebrate all of you working in this great profession. If the pandemic has reminded us that our profession can overcome so much in order to fulfil its responsibilities, I hope you feel it has also raised the profile and the understanding of the profession to the wider public. Tonight, as we reflect back on a difficult time and celebrate all those that sacrificed so much and delivered when we needed it most, we should now look to move forward with renewed confidence, knowing that anything is possible if we believe in the standards and standing of our profession, our organisations, and most importantly, our people. Thank you.
It's time to raise your glasses as we celebrate the hidden heroes of our profession. That's a wrap. Congratulations to all of tonight's award winners. A huge thank you to our sponsors and our awards judges who had a hard time this year with the vast amount of high quality entries. And finally, a round of applause to you, our guests this evening, to our Zoom audience up there. You've all been amazing. You've all been fantastic. And we hope that you enjoyed the evening as much as we have. So thank you very much and good night.